All right, guys, so meal one. Actually, before meal one, I've already had my T3, my T4, my telmisartan, and my L-carnitine, and one IU of growth hormone. That is like my morning ritual, is to get those in. The reason why I do that early is because caffeine can interrupt T3 and T4's mechanisms and actually downgrade the ability to absorb some of them. So I make sure I wake up, I have those. I don't have any coffee or any caffeine for about an hour. I also don't eat for about an hour. So I get a walk done, which I've already done 2,500 steps. I do a little bit of work till about 10 o'clock now, it's 9:45, and I start making my meal. And this is the meal I've had for the last 4 weeks. This is probably gonna be the last day that I'm gonna eat this meal because it's like not super filling, but it's super tasty. So let's get into meal one. Probably the easiest, quickest breakfast that I've had in all of my preps. This is super lean turkey breast. It's literally got 0.5 grams of fat per 50 grams. So I had 180 grams there, so there's 2 grams of fat and about like 38, 40 grams of protein, which is real good. So this is oven roast chicken breast, it's not turkey, oh my God. But it's literally just chicken, water, and sea salt, which is pretty gross. I don't know why they need water in it, probably to make it bigger, but chicken, water, sea salt, that's all right. I can fuck with those 3 ingredients. And then I just have like a load of salad on top, 2 slices of bread, and a super simple Frank's Buffalo Red Hot sauce. This is like 550 calories. I also have like 30 grams of this light Philadelphia, just to add a little bit of flavor flav. And it's like a really, really good meal. You know, you got a good protein source, you got an okay carbohydrate source, with it being bread, and that's it. What else do you need? So this is all I have pre-workout. It's about 50 carb, about 50 protein, and like 3 grams of fat. One thing I also do is I make sure I have a Gatorade to add a little bit of potassium and sodium. Nothing crazy, but a little bit. Also another half liter of liquid. I've already had a liter of liquid. I try to get about half a liter of my pre-workout. So that's like a good salty meal, good carbohydrates, good protein meal. So I'm full of protein, full of carbohydrates. I'm also full of electrolytes and water. And what does that do? Gives you a big pump. So that's it. Meal one. Let's go train. All right, guys, just got back from the gym, and I thought we'd do something different for today's session and just kind of talk you through it and what I do before it and all of the things kind of leading up to it. Number one, I always take a little bit of time just to walk on that treadmill, stay focused, or sorry, get focused for the session ahead. I might answer a few messages, just any urgent things that need to get done before I can train, so that way I can put my phone away and only open it to go either change my music or load my sessions in. But it gives me that kind of like mental switch when I walk in the gym. Walk in the gym, do my little 600, 1,000 steps or so. But then I get on a foam roller. You can see on here, I'm actually trying to like work through thoracic extension. One of the things I struggle with is like a rear double bicep and then thoracically extending along with like the external rotation, which is why I was doing like kind of movements through the thoracic chain and then also rotations with the kettlebell. First exercise, one thing I want you to focus on when I'm thinking about any type of single arm pull down, the lat comes across the body, but also forward. Like the lat is still engaged. Yes, there's some shoulder, but the lat is lengthening here. So what I want you to focus on is coming up, around, all the way forward, but then also in the ultimate reverse and bring that back in. And that's one thing I'm trying to focus on. On a lot of these single arm movements, it's allowing that shoulder to come all the way forward and then all the way back into that pocket, so to speak. All right, so a little bit of a T-bar technique I've been doing the last year or so, but probably more prominently the last 6 months. One thing I'm focusing on here is reaching forward, right? That is as long as that lat can go. And I'm also thinking about doing the exact opposite, even thoracically extending a little bit to get that full contraction. So if you haven't been trying to do that on your T-bars, give it a go. Like, let me know how that gets on, because it makes such a difference to the connection that I feel. So after we do kind of that wide grip pull with that same kind of technique, we'll move much more into like a lat-based row, and that's where I use the prime. When I'm watching this, I'm thinking I look juicy, man. Like, this guy must take fucking gear or something. This guy must be an IFBB pro or something. I'm happy with that, to be fair. But same thing, guys, like reaching forward, coming all the way back. And obviously the elbow direction here is like much more downwards, and we're focusing on wrapping around for the lat rather than like upper back or like vertical pull, you know? So elbow path and direction is super, super important when it comes to back training. I do 3 sets on each of those. It's quite a lot of volume in general. So 9 sets of back. I go on to my hamstrings. This is the first session on a Tuesday, so I do hamstrings on this day. And I just do 3 sets of lying hamstring curls. If you don't have a lying hamstring curl, seated's great. If you don't have a seated, lying's also fine. If I had to choose one, seated. But I do 3 sets of lying hamstring curls as top-up volume from my leg session on the Saturday. And I find that having Sunday, Monday off on just those hamstrings is more than enough. I probably couldn't survive a full leg day and some quads, but like just 3 sets of hamstrings extra on that Tuesday is more than enough. Then I'll move on to biceps. So I'll do 1 elbow forward, so a preacher. Is my favorite. I either go through the prime, which is the one that you can see on screen right now, and I'm loading the length and range, like the most extended range, allowing it to drop off, or I use the Panata one, which is real nice. But yeah, just elbows forward, shoulder flexed. I then go into like either a dumbbell curl, a seated dumbbell curl, or like a low cable curl to try and work a little bit more in the lengthened position again, and just to have like a hanging weight. And also just to get some good grip strength in there as well. I think we can rely on cuffs sometimes. We can rely on not using our grip, and it is important to use your grip sometimes. So I love a dumbbell, just classic bicep movement. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the workout. So we're back from the gym, showered. I said I'd try and wait until 2. It's 20 to 2, I'm just like shakingly hungry. Those of you guys who remember the last episode, very, well, it's the exact same. All I've done here is I've got white potatoes instead of red potatoes. Apparently these have less carbohydrates in, so win-win for me. But I am at that point where I just double my food so that Amy can eat as well. So she eats the same as I do. I eat the same as she does. And I am 50 kilos heavier and on steroids. So I've got 250 grams of white potato. I'm just gonna make up 250 grams of chicken right here. And just like yesterday, I'm gonna marinate that and just make sure that is tasting nice. I'm then gonna put like maybe a quarter of this bag of kale in the air fryer for me and Amy as well, and just make crispy kale as like the vegetable today. Alright, so the post-workout meal, it was pretty good actually. I actually ended up with 160 grams of chicken because there was 320 left and Amy needed 160, so I just split it in half. And after this, I'm just gonna have 200 grams of like skyr yogurt. So it's pretty much like every 100 grams of yogurt is like 10 grams of protein. So the 20 grams that I missed from the chicken, I'm just gonna add into yogurt. And I don't fret over that type of stuff. I just track all of my macros. So, and that's an important thing, like for people to think, like, I'm an IFBB pro, like you can just track macros in versus macros out. That is literally how it works. So I'm not afraid to change things a little bit, but they're 99% the same the whole time. So I'm gonna sit down, enjoy this for a little bit, and get my head right, because I am dizzy right now. I'm so hungry. All right, so meal 3. I realized I had a little bit of fat left, and I was just, I needed some fat. I had really low fat, like turkey and the chicken, like super low fat. I was craving a bit of fat, so I've got turkey sausages here, which they just add a little bit more fat in for whatever reason. Got it on like a bed of salad, mixed leafy greens. There's many different colors, many different textures you can get. Is always going to be a good idea for micronutrition. And then because like when I get low on like carbohydrates, I want to make the most of them. So I've literally just got 50 grams of salt and vinegar, like almost like small rice cakes. They're so tasty. The sensation of cracking them down is so good as well. So there's about 40 grams of carbs there, 55 grams of protein here, and obviously a load of micronutrition. This is meal 3. We'll see you in meal 4. Alrighty, so we're in for meal 4. Today's, or this meal's vegetable is sprouts. So again, what I do, all the sprouts, I weigh them out. Me and Amy, we usually split the same amount of sprouts. I then have 250 chicken, she has 170 chicken. We'll then just divide it by what the percentage. You divide it by the percentage of whatever the fuck she works out. And I go, all right, cool. And I go, okay, eat chicken. So I don't really understand that stuff, but basically you can work out so that it's exact. So it is going to be 250 chicken for me. It's going to be 2 of these like proteiny wraps, which are pretty low calorie, maybe 130 calories each. Then I'll just put 100 grams of the skewer back on as well, and I just use the feta seasoning as well. Seasonings I don't really count because I just keep the seasonings level the whole time. So that's meal 4. You wait till meal 5. Oh baby. And this is what you call creamed. Oof, perfect. And it comes out as a heavy serving. That's 200 grams of berries, it's like 100 calories. 100 grams of yogurt, that's like 50 calories. 150 calories for all of that. That's bang for your buck and healthy, obviously. Alrighty, so final meal. 200 grams of raspberries. There's 350 grams of Greek yogurt, 25 grams of oats, 20 grams of almond butter, and then again some 0-calorie, sugar-free maple syrup, because we're at that point of prep. That is 285 protein, 277 carb, and 70 fat. That is it. That is a full day of eating. I eat this every single day. I do a high day every now and again, but I haven't had one for a while. But the next time I do one, maybe I'll film that and we'll do another day of eating. So we'll see you tomorrow or the next day or the next part of the vlog. Cheers. Alright guys, it's the end of the week now. We're a few sessions later and I'm going to do a physique update. I want to try to keep these physique updates relatively well. We'll do one in every video. So I was 114.5 this morning. Super flat, dropped a load of weight overnight. So I struggled to get a pump today, but this is why I'm stood here awkwardly in my pants. But here is physique. We'll just go through some mandatories. You can see the legs are coming in now much more. Little glute now, nothing crazy, but as always, my back is super fat still. It's gonna take a while to get rid of it, but it is what it is. Probably got 20 pounds plus to go, so. 4 weeks in, coming into the 5th week now. The time is closing upon us, and every single half kilo, pound or so makes a big difference to the physique now. So I can see it much more than maybe you can see it at the moment. So we'll just keep it going. You know how we do it. We'll keep showing up. We'll keep doing what we're doing. And we'll see you for a full roundup back at home. Hi guys, so we're coming to the end, or toward the end of the episode, so I wanted to round this off with kind of like where I'm at right now, what's happened, where I started, where I'm at right now, and kind of what's the plan going forward. So first of all, when I started this, I was about 122-ish kilos, obviously 125, like peak androgens, peak food, all that nonsense. So I dropped a little bit coming down to TRT. I'm now, like as of this morning, I'm 113.9 in 4 weeks, which is quite a big difference. We're trying to slow the rate of loss now, but initially things just weren't moving that quickly. I went from like 122 to like 121 to 122 over the first few weeks, and normally you'd see like a pretty drastic drop, and it wasn't happening. So we literally just took my training day foods out. I went straight to non-training day, which is about 2,850 calories. Cardio was at 5 lots of 20 minutes of cardio. That hasn't changed. Drugs have been the exact same. I already use replacement dose thyroid, but I also use mastron and testosterone. That's literally it, about 400 milligrams of testosterone and about 1,200 milligrams of mastron at the moment. And then also 6 IUs of GH. And I use that every day, or every week I should say. Nothing else has changed, just that like calorie deficit, and then the body started going, oh shit, I'm gonna lose some weight. And then we've just like had like 3 refeeds in a row, nothing happened. I have a little bit more food again tonight, and then we're just gonna see kind of how that unfolds. We're probably gonna have to move that baseline level of calories up again. But I'm gonna screen record this on my laptop here, and this is just gonna be like weeks 1 to now, which is, I'm coming into my 5th week now. So we're just gonna, so this is 2 sides. I wanna show front and back because it's important to see how the front and back changes depending on like the person. My back gets low. So you can see at the beginning, this is like 120, this is when I got here. So I'd already been dieting a week. So I've been here for 4 weeks, so this is the 5th week. So this is about a week into dieting, so that fluid off the stomach had come off. All right, so I'm looking at the veins through the adductors, the little bit of a quad here. The midsection is not too bad actually, and just kind of looking through the detail through the shoulders and the lats, and then I'm going to just pull this across here, and we're going to compare this to this was a couple days ago on Thursday. The taper is significantly more pronounced. There's much more like detail through just vascularity wise as well. You can see my adductors popping through there's much more detail through the veins through my legs as well if you look at left to right. Midsection, obviously I've shaved here as well, so which helps, probably took about 10% off. But like the shape here looks much better. Then you look at the vasculature through the arms as well, and you can see that's a lot of fat loss coming down, which I'm pretty happy about. Then obviously the back, now this is important to see, is like there is a big change, but it's not as big as the front. Obviously my glutes are out, but I imagine if my boxers are on, it would look very similar, bar just being a little bit more vascular through the quads. You can see a bit more hamstring and adductor detail as well. And then I've had an issue here. You can see how wide the lats look here. But on this left side, they're just significantly less like opening up that well. So I've got to figure that out. But either way, like significantly leaner across the board. That's 4 weeks in, 5 weeks in. So we'll just we'll keep doing the do. Every now and again we'll do these reviews, and we'll see how we get on. So guys, if you enjoyed the video, if you're enjoying the series so far, drop a like, drop a comment. I look forward to seeing you next week. Have a good one.